Oh, yeah, we are back and we are live. Let's go.
Oh yeah, it's that time again. Visionary value.
What's up, dude? It has been a long time no see. How are you? How are
Oh,
you feeling? How are you doing? What's good with you, dog?
oh man. Yeah. Just apologize to all of y'all that tune in.
Do not
Usually,
apologize, man. Do not apologize. That's the wrong way
I
to think. Be
had
like, man, I've been dealing with stuff. I've been handling it.
I've been dealing with stuff. So my mom passed away on the 2nd of November. Yeah, it's just been a crazy time putting together the funeral arrangements, plus trying to push forward with life and trying to rebalance everything and stay strong for the family. You know what I'm saying? So I took a little bit of time off, and of course, last week, due to unforeseen circumstances and weather on your side, that prevented us from going live as well. So we are back, and how am I doing? I'm alive, and that's good enough for me. At this point, you get what I'm saying? I'm doing good overall. Can't complain too much, but
Yep.
um, the situation with my family. So yeah, how you doing, brother?
Man, I am glad to be back with you, man. And it's crazy because, we do a show called Visionary Value. And, for most weeks out of the year, for probably a good 40 weeks out of the year, the market is pretty stable. You know what I mean? You're talking predictions, ideas, thoughts, what could be, what you're hoping for, bro. And then, you know what I mean? Stuff happens. We take a couple weeks off. It's the most volatile market in years. Maybe two, three
Uh,
years. It's the most volatile. Oh, I thought that was crazy. And by far the most volatile crypto, in a long, long time. So excited to get your opinion and thoughts on that as well. But one thing I did want to talk about was you've been in the studio. For those that don't know, man, you still have a lot of fans out there, and I know a lot of them watch this show. But you have a lot of fans from your hip hop and your rap and all of that. 'Cause I know you kind of produce, rap, write, all of it. But you still have a lot of us that love that part of your life and what you put out too. You've been back in the studio. You've been creating, man. The latest drop, I think you put it out Tuesday
yeah, yeah, yeah,
last
yeah.
week. Oh my gosh, that was so fire, bro.
Oh, you
So I
like
know you
that
had
one?
a
It's
lot of
called
that stuff
Channeling
going.
Aggressions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
check it out. For everybody that checks it out, that's been checking it out, thank you. If you haven't heard of it, just a little, and it might sound corny, whatever. T-Qron Tuesdays, you know what I'm saying? Basically, I'm putting out or I've been putting out um, like freestyles and songs that I put together recently, a variety of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Uh, and I just been dropping something weekly. Usually head out to the beach and nature, nice settings. It brings me some inspiration to want to flow. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I do. And yeah, put out like videos 10 weeks in a row. Actually took 1 week off because of mom's passing, but yeah, about 11 weeks and 10 videos. I might actually scale back and just do them bi-weekly, just to you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, dang, bro, like I'm giving out too much for free at this point.
Giving
You
out
get what
too
I'm
much
saying?
free.
Yeah. So,
What
but
I was thinking is drop like a like 20 seconds and then have everybody go to Spotify to download it for 99
right.
cents.
Well, that's
Or
the other
yeah.
thing, right? So the reason I'm doing that right now is just to build some traction, leading up to those tracks being available online for streaming, download, whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? Building back up to that, the music that used to be up online, a lot of things have changed over the years. Some of these websites that used to host the mixtape, like the last one that I dropped, the Paradise Ugly joint with Crooked Eye, some of those sites just don't even exist anymore. Times have changed, and the stuff that was up on like streaming platforms had a little situation with the label that I was with. Everything kind of went south on that, and yeah, after that, things got things got taken down, and it's all good. It'll be right back up shortly in due time. Working on all of that. Um, so yeah, in the meantime, enjoy it. Enjoy it. I'm gonna I'm gonna probably drop one every other week now, scale it back from weekly. But yeah, um, I'm glad you like it, and I appreciate anybody listening, tuning in. Drop some feedback. Don't be afraid, even if you don't like it. You know what I'm saying? You can say it sucks or whatever.
But it doesn't. That's why people don't say that. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
you
I
think it's
mean,
good.
yeah, definitely, you know what I'm saying. I'm so happy that people are enjoying it. You know what I'm saying. But yeah, I encourage all of it. I'm open to feedback. You know what I'm saying. But yeah, I'm gonna keep dropping as long as they keep watching. You know what I'm saying. And new music is definitely on the way. Shout out to Sub Zero. I was at Prima Phonic Studio yesterday here in Hawaii. Yeah, it was a good. It was good finally getting back in the booth after a while. It's been a long time, especially here in Hawaii. This is my first recording session in about 13 years. You know what I'm saying, out here. So yeah, we back. We back. 2026 is gonna be a nice year.
How are the
That's what
beats,
I
man?
say.
What are the beats like you're working with right now? I mean, I love the
Oh,
beats.
dope. Yeah, I
You
don't
know,
know. Do you like my beat selection so
of
far?
course, man. I love all your beats, man.
Thanks, man.
I
I
When are
appreciate
we?
it.
Man, that's awesome. And nowadays it's
So
just a
I
different game, So yeah.
over the years, I've worked with some very solid beat. I mean, just the producers from Hawaii, and all over the world, really, through networking and just the power of the internet, of course. And one of them still lives here. My boy Eli. I think he goes by Eli Music or Elzine Music. I can't remember, but he used to be under Thirst for Worse Productions. I got uh, a lot of beats from like Anno Domini and Vans Beats, and that was through like SoundClick and stuff like that. Like they used to have these big platforms where you can just purchase a bunch of beats, lease beats, and stuff like that. Yeah, I got a lot of local producers and, like I said, worldwide that I've been procuring beats from. I actually worked with Jake Hardum, which was Joe Budden's one of his producers for a long time during his Mood Music 3 and 4 run.
Nice.
Quite a while back, I got a couple of beats from him. And of course, we all know Joe Budden stopped doing music, but now his podcast is worth almost $20 million a year. Just Joe Budden.
Brilliant. Yeah,
You know
man.
what I mean? So yeah, I'm privileged to have worked with one of his producers. And yeah, just I if I like that beat, I'll buy it. I'll fucking lease it. I'll do whatever. I may never even put it out, but just I love listening to him. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Sometimes
and
it's
to have it, right? To own
yeah,
it. You know what
yeah,
I mean? So
absolutely.
it's yours, basically. I
Yep.
love that.
So I'm glad you like the beat selection, and yeah, just stay tuned, man. I'm gonna definitely fill everybody in on the moves.
Let them know. Let them know. We got to let them know. That is awesome, dude. Sorry, I'm up on the computer. So,
Yeah.
the markets. What do you think, man? Look, before we dig into everything, what is your overall thoughts on it right now, man? Like, just your
Woo,
initial. What do you think?
man. Um, I, I'm enjoying the sales, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people are hurting. I mean, if I was to cash out today, yeah, I'd be hurting, right? But
Sure.
I know I'm not going to cash out today, and I have conviction in most of my trades. Some of them I'm starting to, not trades, but my holdings. Some of them I'm starting to question. You get what I'm saying? Just this,
Yeah.
it is what it is, right? But I mean, that's just how it works. You're not going to be 100% right 100% of the time. That's the market. Welcome to the market. And if you claim you are, you're a fucking liar. That's it.
That's
That's all I
true.
can say. I mean, even the best traders or investors have like a 70% win rate. You know what I'm saying? 70. If you're an 80% win rate, then goddamn, you are elite. You know, if you 90, like, but
You're
there's
Nancy
not a
Pelosi.
100%. I mean, most of the people are way below. Their win loss rates are horrible. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Uh, I'm so I mean, we're all immune to bad investments and bad trades sometimes. But I'm not letting those positions go because ultimately they are tied into Bitcoin and the Bitcoin um, rally or downturn, whatever you want to call it. Those losses are amplified through those specific stocks that I hold, and because Bitcoin is hurting, those specific stocks are hurting even more. I'm gonna be honest, it's it's MicroStrategy and ETFs, leverage ETFs that are fucking holding MicroStrategy stock. So if you know anything about strategy, or Michael Saylor, who owns the most Bitcoin in the country besides BlackRock, Michael Saylor is trying to hoard all the Bitcoin that he can. He started the data asset treasure companies, the DATs that we talked about several weeks ago. So MicroStrategy stock went from a high of like 560 something, I believe it was at one point this last year, down to right now, I think it's trading around 176 or something like that. It's horrible. But with the rally, when it does come for Bitcoin, once it starts popping again, I've averaged down to a point where, well, I'm still continuing to average down to a point where it should rise back up around those levels. And I'm not going to sell at a loss, even if it just hits my entry point. At that point, the average price, I might just cash out, or I might just let it rise a couple more percent. You know what I'm saying? Another 10-20% from wherever I'm at, and then make a profit on it. But that's just the way it works. Now, the reason people keep losing money, once again, is with the downturns, they get scared. People get scared as shit because they keep watching their money like literally just bleed. Their portfolio bleeds every day. They're in the red. It's a mental thing, right?
Yeah, but
On paper,
I mean,
you're losing money, but you're not actually losing money until you cash out at that very point. Like if you
right, and
cash out
that's
in the red, make it a real loss. Yeah.
and I mean, first of all, we knew the market was ready for a correction. It can't
Yep.
just keep going up and up and up. It's not a market; it's
Yep. The valuations,
yeah,
exactly.
it's a pyramid scheme. So there's a point where it has to have a correction. Unfortunately, that correction is down. Unless the market was down, 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 and the correction was up, a correction has to correct that. I pulled this guy. I love, our guy here. Let me add him to the stage here, and let's see here. So, yeah, this is what I forgot his name. Let's see here. Where's the guy at? This is Bobby T. I like Bobby T. It's digital asset news. He has a little breakdown of kind of the market last week and what went down and what's going on with the crypto. Thought we check this out. Get your thoughts.
85,000. And as a reminder, over the last 45 days, we've gone from 120. Well, it says 120. Yeah, 126,000 all the way down. Pretty big drop off. And we talked about that. This is normal even for bull markets. I mean, remember in 2021, we dropped 50% in essentially 35 days. Actually, no, I think it was 30 days. And that was in April, right down to June. Yeah, so I guess it was 35 days. 50%. And today we are at, what do we say here? Negative 31%. But this was also a thing from Charlie Baleo. Kind of helps us gauge things as sentiment starts to even out. As you can see that, yeah, this decline today in 2000 from October 6th, November, it's a negative 36. But look at these declines in some of these bull runs. Look at this. Oh, so it was longer. There was 60 days. April 14th to June 22nd, 2021, we had a 55% drop in that bull run. Also, I don't know if you remember this, and I forgot about this. November 8th, 2017 to November 12th, we had a 30%. I don't remember this at all. That's amazing. We had a 30% drop. Now, it hurts more now because we're in the 100,000. We're in six figures. But back then, it was a whopping $7,879 that dropped to $5,500. So yes, that was 30%, but it didn't feel like it. It didn't feel like that percentage because why? Because you didn't have 126,000 going to essentially 90,000. And that,
I think that is something that's very important to keep in mind is that, specifically a lot of it has to do with the high numbers in our mind and not the percentages, right? I love how he breaks it down on a percentage and is like, keep in mind, we've actually seen far worse before. It's just that it wasn't so high that when that percentage is there, 10% of 125 is a lot more than 30% of, 50. So
Absolutely. And that's what I tell people. It's like we all know it's a mental thing, you know what I'm saying? Think about it as percentages, just like how you would like buying into it because you're like, wait a second, Bitcoin is still, wait, what? It's $85,000. I don't have $85,000. We know that. I don't have $85,000 to throw at a one particular stock or one particular crypto coin, right?
Right.
But the way you look at it is, if you got $100, that $100, it goes up in percentage or down in percentage with the move of the actual, coin itself and the value as a whole. So bottom line, if Bitcoin is down 30% and you put $100, okay, now you're at a loss. On paper, you didn't actually lose it until you sell, but on paper you're down to $70 versus your 100 that you initially started with. Now if you go up 30% on Bitcoin, and your $100 investment now becomes $130.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Exactly.
for the average person out there, try to understand, you don't need $80,000 to invest. You invest what you can. The point is trying to eventually get to that point where you own an entire Bitcoin, right? Or you go up, the value appreciates of whatever you're holding so much to the point where now you have $85,000 to where you can buy an entire Bitcoin because of your profit or whatever the case may be. So just because you don't have $85,000 to invest, or $100,000 to invest, or $126,000 to invest, just understand it's about percentage. So if you put 100 and the value goes up 100%, you doubled up. If you put 1,000, value goes up 100%, you doubled up. If you put $10 and you know what I'm saying, the value goes down by 10%, you get what I'm saying? So
absolutely,
you don't have to have the amount of the asset that you're trying to buy. Just start with whatever you have. You know what I'm saying? Start with as little as $10 in your account, whatever, and you'll eventually want to make it into more than just $10, unless you just want to put $10 your entire life and try to somehow watch that grow into $1 million. You get what I'm saying? I mean, people have done shit, crazy stuff with options before. They buy cheap options and cash out tens and thousands of bucks, but that's not what I. Yeah, the average person don't. We don't mess with options like that. But yeah. So the point is, get in the markets, and please, if you get in the markets if you understand that there are times where you're going to be hurting just like this. Okay, if you can't, let me just put it this way: if you cannot withstand a 10 to 20% drop of your money overall, I don't care if it's $100, $10,000, $100,000, $1 million. If you can't stand a 10 to 20% drop, which is normal in the market at some point, just like we are in now, then just don't do it, because this is going to ruin you.
This market will ruin you.
Yeah, people's mental health gets affected by this drastically, and the same way going up. Like when things are and you're up so much, you're just like walking around with your chest out. You know what I'm saying? I do that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It just
all of us, man.
Makes you, yeah. You know how it is when you're you got a lot of money. The world is your oyster. You know what I'm saying? And you're up. Even if it's on paper and you haven't cashed it out, it still makes you feel like a king. You get what I'm saying? So if you can't tolerate a 10 or 20% or higher drop in the markets, please stay out of it. Like, it's not for you. I don't want people to harm themselves or to just do negative things because they're in a bad mood because the markets. Just understand that there's risks involved. You're not just going to put money in and go up all the time.
It absolutely should be money that you like, you're gambling money or whatever the case.
Money you don't need right this moment. Right. And everybody's going to sit there and say, well, I need all my money. Of course, everybody needs all their money. But let's be honest. How much do you actually spend out of that couple of thousand that's sitting in the bank or whatever the case is? Right. Consider your bills and whatever your needs are. And if you got an extra little bit laying around that you could essentially let wash for a moment. Like, that's what I think of when it comes to my money. It's just in a washing machine. It's just cycling, and sometimes that cycle is going to bring it up. Sometimes that cycle is going to bring it down. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, but it's just that money's just doing its thing. I'm not ready to cash out my portfolio yet, so it hurts to look at on paper, but at the same time, I'm not taking a loss. It's just on paper. You get what I'm saying? If you sell,
Absolutely.
make that loss real. If you hold, you might have a chance of recovering and then going higher. Have some convictions. Now, again, if you're buying some shitty ass stocks, and there's tons of them out there, or even shitty ass cryptos, shit coins, there's thousands of them out there, right? Don't expect anything in a downturn. You know what I mean? These are speculative plays, and you have to treat them as such. So some of those joints will never come back. Period. It is what
Yeah,
it is.
well, exactly. And that's let's get into this. This is the ETF flow for right now when we're talking about not just Bitcoin, but all of the Bitcoin related ETF. ETF.
Yep.
So this is the ETF list, and we're taking a look at Bitcoin. And unfortunately, as of 20th November, that was yesterday, it was the highest outflow of Bitcoin from all ETFs ever. EVER, ever.
It's important to know.
November was 355 million. Now, BlackRock itself had the largest outflow by itself on 18th November. Correct me in the comment section at 523 million. But as far as like total, we almost had $1 billion. We were like we were 97 million away from $1 billion outflow in one single day. That's not good. However, as a reminder, as we always have to do so, the spot ETF total accumulation, our high was 61,000 on 16th of October. Now we're sitting at 57,374. So that's still a lot of Bitcoin being gobbled up and just sitting there. But the largest day, that could be an omen of things to come. And it's not just Bitcoin. Take a look at Ethereum. So Ethereum, this is the second largest day ever of outflows, which was 20th November, 261. The last time, I think it was October 18th. I can't remember exactly when it was, but it was large. And that was the most, I think it was like 289 million. So today at 260, or excuse me, yesterday, 261 million, it's the most outflows. So again, sentiment is pretty bad. And that's what it happens. And as a reminder, it's not just Ethereum that's getting, heavy-handed. Looks like Tom Lee and his company BitMine now holds more ETH than BlackRock. After buying 63,000 ETH this week, BitMine's holdings have reached 3,623,000 Ethereum, or almost $10 billion. Imagine the valuation that would be if we were at an all-time high of around $5,000 for Ethereum, because right now we're looking at roughly, what is it, 2,500, somewhere around there? Let me take a look here. It is 2,741. So congratulations, Tom Lee and BitMine. That is not an easy thing. And then also, if we look at Solana and we just see how things are, that's not right. Hold on real quick.
Yeah, Tom Lee's not going to.
Solana, the ETF flow, that is the only one that is positive. So the Solana ETF flow from the beginning, back in 3rd of November, from Bitwise, of course, Bitwise, Bannock Fidelity, Two Shows and Grayscale all doing their same thing. But even Grayscale isn't having an outflow. They're actually just buying. So, let's see how Solana does. Unfortunately, if you take a look at the price action of Solana today, it's down 4.3% and down 10%. And I want to say it's about, 45% away from its all-time high, maybe 50%. Yeah, roughly. So flows are doing relatively good for one and one only. That would be, unfortunately, Solana. Also, more bad news, smart money stablecoin indicator, which Wes reminded me that this is what's going on. Thank God for Wes over there at Smart Money Tracking. He's like, hey, mate, or I can't even do a good impression of him, but I'm just not good with impressions. But you can take a look here with Smart Money stablecoin. It's essentially when the smart money, quote unquote, this is just different wallets that are being tracked. You can just see that over time, since roughly August 28th, they've been selling here and there. And once they sell, they don't get into cash, they get into stables. Why do they get into stables? Because they're going to get back into crypto at some point.
Correct.
They're not going to get out. They're just going to sell.
That's an important point I think we should talk about, is that even with this massive sell-off, the people that hold the biggest wallets and make the biggest moves in crypto aren't completely bailing on crypto, aren't completely bailing. They're just holding money right now as the market is turbulent, with a full intention to get right back into crypto very soon.
Yeah, that guy. I mean, the information that he was giving was good, but he's got to work on his energy. He kind of put me to like. I was
Brother,
about
that's why we're here. Do you understand? If you watch these crypto
yeah,
podcasts and these finance podcasts, I mean, it's
yeah,
cool. You know what I mean? But that's why we exist, man. That's why we catch
right,
fire after like a month. We're already catching some fire. Is because it's
right.
like, you mean we can watch a couple of guys that are like us in a way? I mean, we're not like nobody. We're weirdos. That's fair. You know what I mean? Come on, brother. We're weirdos.
Hey, speak for yourself. I'm just-
Well, no, you know what I mean. I don't mean
no,
like
I'm an.
when I say
Yeah,
we're not like everybody else,
we're
man. We're
not the norm.
musicians,
That's for
we're
sure.
dreamers, we're producers. You know, we do
Yeah.
it all, man. You know what I mean? We are not your average cat.
But
So
here's what I was gonna say about the Bitcoin ETF thing. He's like, oh, ever EVER, bro. Ever started in 2024. We're still in 2025. It's not a big deal, bro. Okay,
Correct.
you pretend like the Bitcoin ETFs have been around for decades. It's not. Okay, it just started in January of 2024. An actual ETF holding Bitcoin. So chill. Um, Again, that kind of lingo. I don't know where he stands, bullish or bearish, but it sounded like he was trying to scare you off a little bit more because he's like, maybe it's a bad omen of things to come. It might be, but please understand, this is just what Bitcoin does. Yes, we went to all-time highs and higher than this ever before, right? But if you look at the freaking charts, like there's going to be times where it goes down drastically, bigger moves than most stocks ever make, right? That's just the nature of crypto. But when it rises viciously, and people have been making so much money since the inception of Bitcoin. So don't let that scare you off. Okay. I think this is a great, if you are, if you've done your research and you understand the risks involved, I think this is a great time to buy. That's just me. This is not financial advice.
agreed. No,
I'm
I'm
not a financial
excited.
advisor, and neither is Mike. But I personally am buying into um, more just stocks overall, crypto overall, like that's where I'm at with it. You know what I'm saying? You do what you do. Your wins are your wins, your losses are your losses. Remember, this is our opinion. We're doing this strictly I'm strictly just telling y'all what I'm doing. I'm not encouraging y'all to buy or sell anything specific. So just understand that your wins are your wins, your losses are your losses. If you make $1 million, I'm not going to ask you for a commission, not yet. You know what I'm saying?
No, but you should at least, sign up. You know what I mean? Download all of T-Qron's music at that point. And then you
Right.
can
Try to like stream or whatever, when it's available and stuff like that. And show some support in some way. But yeah, no, it's important for people to understand. It's not just this channel, but millions of other YouTubers that talk about finances.
Low power play
They
charging.
have the same disclaimer, like you know what I'm saying. Like you just take everything with a grain of salt. Some people know what they're talking about, some people don't. If you're skeptical, and you should be at all times, do your own research and then dive into it or stay out of it. It's up to you.
agreed. Absolutely agreed. He's got a couple more minutes I want to get to here. Let's see here. Share that screen. And yeah, no, none of this is advice. However, I will say one thing I like is that for now, because markets will usually always rise, especially now and the way things are being moved. Whether you agree with the moves that are being made, the people in charge making them, blah blah blah. At the end of the day, it really looks to me like the economy and continuing on down the road is kind of set up for folks who are in the game. You know what I mean? If you're just a working Joe, an average working Joe,
Low power play
and
charging.
that kind of thing, I think you can expect, to kind of come out, a little lost or a little rough, and you need some possible crypto, some possible stocks, some things that are working for your money, not just you working for your money. I
Yep.
think everybody would agree, no matter
The
what
dollar
that
is
is.
losing value rapidly. Yep, exactly. You
Exactly.
know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
man. Add that, find that, in your life. So, yeah, let's check this out. He's talking about the bullish and bearish markets as you're talking about. He's going. Let's see here. That's Solana,
This
and
guy's
I
a
was going
little
to ask, why do you feel like Solana is hitting right now?
I don't personally invest in Solana, so I don't know. But I just know that they got a solid network. You can do a lot with Solana. But yeah, I that's always been people look at it as like one of the top 3, top 5, you know what I'm saying, right behind Bitcoin. So Solana's got a solid network that you can do a lot on, similar to your Ethereums and stuff like that. So, but that's probably why maybe they got some cooking that we don't know about and that their investors know about, you know. But yeah, look into some Solana. I know that's a pretty solid crypto as well. I just don't. I'm not exposed to it.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, Ethereum was my baby, and Ethereum's going the way of what you call it right now, and so I'm like, dang, it's going the way of Bitcoin.
I mean, if you got conviction in it,
Ethereum.
then you should. I would say stack up. You know what I'm
There
saying?
you
Stack
go.
up. Because eventually, when the market goes green again and things start rising, you're gonna regret that you didn't spend. And I do that all the time. You know what I'm saying? That's why this downturn, more than any, since I started investing, I spent more in this market right now, in this crash, because every single time when it comes around, like, you either don't buy or you buy a little bit and you end up regretting it later. You're like, shit, I should have spent more money. You know what I'm saying? I would have been up even more. That's your regret. So just please, if you got the money, if you got the dry powder, so to speak, the cash sitting there, put it to work. It's better than just sitting in a checking account or a savings account that barely makes 1% every year. You get what I'm saying?
And yeah, and by the time the fees come out of that stuff, it's a whole
Right.
thing. You know what I mean? So let's check this out.
Sell, hold their stable coins, and then buy back in when all of us capitulate, which may have happened, and you may have sold, and there's nothing wrong with that. Good for you. So you can see that smart money, quote unquote, is doing pretty well. Also, speaking of people who dumped on us, Rich Dad Poor Dad today.
Oh,
dumped on you guys.
snap.
Excuse me, dumped on us because I bought some Bitcoin too. Robert Kiyosaki comes on and says, hey, I just sold 2.25 million Bitcoin for approximately 90,000. So good for him. I guess that was a couple of days ago. I purchased the Bitcoin. He purchased the Bitcoin for 6,000 a coin years ago. He's talking about maybe 2018, maybe 2020. Yeah, maybe. With the cash from Bitcoin, I am purchasing 2 surgery centers and investing in a billboard business. Interesting. I estimate my 2.25 million Bitcoin investment in the surgery centers and billboard businesses will be positive cash flowing approximately $27,500 a month income by next February, tax free. I don't know how he's doing that, but okay. So I want everybody to remember this. I want this to burn into your memory. I have no problems with Robert. I like his books, but he did what I've been saying to do. And these rules underneath me. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose. Everything's a scam until proven otherwise. Don't leave things on exchanges. Don't use leverage, and take profits.
Congratulations.
Exactly
well done.
Congratulations, Robert. And I want that for everybody. And I want you to see this right here. $27,500 a month income. How would that sound right now to you? For some of you, this is what makes this area so great. For some of you, you're like, you know what? This is not what I want. I want to live on Bitcoin. I want to hold Bitcoin. I want to never give up Bitcoin. And that's great. And some people are like, I wish I would have done that on October 6th. I wish I would have sold and gone that way. If that is something that sounds like you, just remember that the crypto market is essentially like a party bus. If you don't like a particular party bus at one point, just wait. There's going to be another party bus coming around in another 10 or 15 minutes. Could be a year or so, but who knows?
Okay, so that right there is kind of why I wanted to watch this whole thing, because it sounds very similar to what you said. Is like, hey, man, I like Bitcoin. I like NVIDIA. These things are working. And now over time, that's the cool thing about this is you can't fake the funk. You know what I mean? You got to be honest about it. And you are honest about it. And you're like, but everybody has different things. You were just saying it again. You know what I mean? And I like that. You know what I mean? I like that. Because you encourage people to do what they want to do. And like you were just saying, if you can't really stand a 10% kind of loss and that's not a hit you're willing to take.
Yeah, no.
Then it's maybe not the best idea. And he was like, crypto's like a party, but if this is not the one, just wait. Something else is going to come along. Now, once again, no guarantees. You know what I mean? But, something will come along that should wet your whistle, tip your fancy, whatever, however you want to say it, where you can get in the market, learn about it. And that's one thing I kind of wanted to talk about is it could be, once again, not advice. That's why it could be. It is possible that, um, going planning on losing a little money. If not that you're rich, but if you have, you
Yeah,
know, and legitimately 50, $60, you can
you
buy
have.
some crypto of some kind. You know what I mean? And then check it
Listen,
out and watch it rise, watch it fall, and then that way you haven't spent 5, 6 grand. You've spent 50 or
it,
60 bucks.
it's part of the process. You can't expect wins every time. You know what I'm saying? Even the biggest winners have lost before. That's the only way you learn how to win. You know what I'm saying? Because when you take a loss, the smart man assesses their loss. Like, why did I lose? How did I lose? What am I going to do in the future to prevent this type of a loss or mitigate my losses? Right? You learn. You know what I'm saying? So losing is or losing on paper is a part of the process. You realize those gains by selling in the red. Remember, guys, you buy low, sell high. Don't buy high and sell low. That's how you screw it up. That's why 90% of retail traders lose. Okay. Because they just don't understand that this is part of the process. Like, some people panic as soon as they lose $1. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, my money's no longer worth what it was when I put it in. This sucks. This is a scam. Get me out of it. Like, this is bullshit. Fuck the stock market. You know what I mean? Fuck the crypto market. Like, okay, bro, I get it. It's just not for you. If you can't stand the heat, get your ass out the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it was just a dollar. It was just a couple bucks. It was just,
Exactly.
a percent or two. Again, if you cannot, if you can't see your money drop by 20% and you're gonna have a heart attack, stay out of it. Just don't
Well, and
do it.
that's something I want to bring up. Okay, so if you can see what I got on the screen right now, we're talking. This is Bitcoin in real time as we speak. Okay,
Yeah,
you
it's
look
down
at the
like what
last.
30% or something like that in the last month or so, something, right? Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's saying in the last 5 days it's down 8.15%. Now, something
Mm.
I want folks to keep in mind here, right, is that this is the last 5 days. Now, if you only judge on a short term memory, you know what I mean? That squirrel, kind of memory, and you don't
Yep.
pay any kind of long term attention, you're losing your mind. You're ready to jump off a cliff right now. You're like, oh, you know what I mean? So, and
Sorry.
then,
Right now, it shows that Bitcoin is down 21%
yeah,
the
23.
last
Yeah, yeah.
month, 26
5 days.
the last
Yeah,
three
yeah.
months. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, it's yeah. So, but that's all time. My bad. And then if you look at the last month, you're like, oh no, I want to jump off the cliff. But then you go to the last year,
Yeah.
right? Just go to the last year. If January 1, you would have bought Bitcoin, it would have been at 98. And if you would have diamond hands it, you'd have stressed out and it would have dropped all the way down in that is what, April. It dropped all the way down to 76, right? And that was just April. April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. And then 8 months later, you're still 10 grand to the good. You're
Hmm.
still, and right now it's 84 at its low. If you'd have held it and not freaked out at 76, you're still 8 grand to the good. Name too many stocks that you have. You know what I mean? That at the beginning of the year you bought on January 1, you know what I mean? And well, that didn't. You know what I'm saying? And it dropped and all that. But then it's low. You saved it. You're still 10 grand up than at its
Yeah.
ultimate low. And it's
There's
21.
a saying, when in doubt, zoom out. Yeah, it looks bad in the week chart, in the month chart, in the last 3 month chart. But how's it been in the last 5 years? How's
Exactly.
it been all time? In the
Exactly.
last 5 years, Bitcoin is still, even with its downturn right now, still up about 450% from where it
Exactly.
was 5 years ago.
Yeah, man. Exactly. And it's something to keep in mind. And
When in
remember,
doubt, zoom out. Yep.
correct. And then to kind of go on over to the overall markets here, you can see with Bloomberg and what they're talking about here is that the market's actually finished up. S&P finished up by, less than a point, but they still finished up.
Right.
NASDAQ finished up. The B500 finished up. The U.S. overall market finished break even. Crude oil's a little down. Where's my, and gold. Man, I'm telling you, gold is the one, dog. You know what I'm saying? Gold is the one. I fully believe in gold. And I wanted to check that out as gold finished up as well. It had a drop. but then it overall finished up. So, I really believe in gold. You can see that right there.
Mhm.
Let's see here, year to date, and you see pop, 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 pop. It just keeps climbing. You know what I mean? If January 1, you would have bought the gold at 27, right now it's at 4. I firmly believe that gold is a precious metal. How you like that? Can't go wrong there. No one can say, "Hey, no, it's not." I firmly believe that gold is a great precious metal idea when you're getting into it, right? Because it's always going to kind of hold, right? So, yeah.
Yep. Now let's talk about Nvidia, man. Because that's the
Right.
elephant in the room. Everybody's been um let's put it this way. The whole market was riding on their earnings on Wednesday, right? And they killed the earnings, as I knew they would.
Sure.
There was memes out there saying that most people were watching it like I'm sorry, what was it? There were more people watching the Nvidia earnings than the Super Bowl this year. That's what
Oh
that's
yeah.
bullshit.
Oh yeah.
But you know what I'm saying, it felt like it because if it wasn't for Nvidia beating the earnings this downturn, because even after they beat the earnings the very next day, the shit just dropped anyway, right? No big deal. But it would have been way worse than what you saw the next day. On Thursday and even Friday, it would have been like 5 times worse if you ask me. If they would have missed earnings on any at any stage. So yeah, congratulations to Nvidia and Jensen Huang, best CEO out there in the world, man. Yeah, and I don't care if Nvidia's price was 212 just within the last month, and now it's down to like 170 something. I'm buying. I'm buying more. Anytime I can buy Nvidia at a discount, I'm with it. So
Agreed.
yeah,
Yeah, man.
I'm glad that they beat earnings. And yeah, that's just what happens. Even if they beat the earnings and things were going up right after that, right after they beat the earnings, like that doesn't mean that the market can't, pull the rug on you the very next day. It did.
Yeah,
it
it
sure,
did. It did.
it sure did.
And that's I kind of wanted to go over this on purpose. This is CNBC. It says this week in AI, brushing off new bubble warnings, Google's AI comeback, and Nvidia's China threat. And what that Nvidia's China threat simply means is that they are currently kind of the leaders in what Nvidia does, and Nvidia's kind of taken over the U.S. based company, which is definitely keeping our overall markets up, right? So yeah,
Yeah, everybody wants this AI bubble to burst. Well, not everybody. The bears do. Most people are
yeah,
bullish on it, so that's why their Nvidia is so valued so high. It's still at about $4.5 trillion. It was at 5 trillion. The thing is, the spending in AI is still going, and it's going to get stronger over the next few years. From what I've seen and from what I've learned, like this ain't stopping anytime soon. It might the bubble might burst eventually, but I don't think it's anytime now. I mean, not in the near future, not in the next 5 years. That's for sure. Maybe after that. But yeah, so make your money while you can. And when you see that downturn, again, if it's not for you and you want out, get out, lock in those profits. What Jim Cramer always says, right? Bulls make money, bears make money, pigs get slaughtered.
yeah,
Meaning, if you're too greedy, you're gonna get fucked. You're gonna get slaughtered.
absolutely. And
Because you're not going to take profits. You're going to just keep holding until you reach like $1 million a share, and that might never happen. And then you just get killed. You know what I'm saying? So learn to take profits along the way. I took some profits on Nvidia the other day before it turned down. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So
You took some profits and then it blew up even higher. Brilliant, man. Congratulations.
no,
That's
actually, I took profits and it fell. Yeah.
Oh, right after you took the profits?
Yeah. And
Brilliant.
that's why, because I mean, I was like, I think it's gonna fall even more. So right after earnings, the next day, I just cashed out a little bit. But of course, I still hold Nvidia. You can trim your position along the way. You don't have to sell everything. You can just sell a little bit here, a little bit there.
Absolutely. And not only that, but that's the brilliance of being in the stock market. In that, if it is an account, just look at it as an interest-bearing account with a low side risk. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, man. Um, if anybody's ever been interested in the markets, this is a great time to get in while prices are low. Black Friday sale started early for the markets. Let's put it this way. So buy at a discount. Everybody wants to buy. There's memes out there. There was this meme about Bitcoin where there was a door, two doors, and one of them had a sign that said 80,000. The other one had a sign that said 126,000. The door that had the sign above it that said 80,000, nobody was going through. But the one that said 126,000, people were trampling over each other like they were just rushing through the door. There was thousands of people trying to get in. What they're saying is nobody wants to buy this when it's low, but the moment it hits 100,000 and above, everybody wants to get in, and that's just retarded. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. Buy low, sell high. Period. If you loved it at 126,000, you should love it even fucking more at 186,000 or whatever the hell. You know what I'm saying? In other words, buy more, right? I mean, you know, that's what the smart people are doing. Again, assess your risk, do what you want. But yeah, that's just what the smart ones are doing. They're buying more. They're adding to their position.
and this is a great time, and it's as accessible as it has been in at least 5 years. Right
Yeah,
now,
and it might go down even
really
more.
get it.
It might go down even more. You know what I'm saying? And if it does, have some conviction, keep some money on the side. Some people spend everything all at once. You know what I'm saying? It's not. I don't encourage people to just blow your whole wad on one purchase. You know what I'm saying? So if you've got $1,000 to spend on Bitcoin, right? Especially at a time like this, don't just put all $1,000 into it right now. Maybe put like 250 right now.
Yeah.
If it goes down even more than what you bought it for today, boom, buy again. If it goes down further, buy even more, because your price lowers, and then you know what I'm saying. Like you're gonna do better than just putting it in all at one time and not being able to buy any more later down the line because you just don't have the cash to. The cheaper it gets, the better your price when you average down.
Absolutely.
Is what it is.
Correct. And we got a new one called Wall Street Looks Like Us now. I love this channel. I don't know if you're following it yet, man, but I think you'll love this channel too. This dude is off the chain. I love him. I don't know if he's real or not. Right? I don't know if this dude is AI or not. Look at him and you tell me. His advice, I think, is great. Well, you know, what he's saying, I think, is great. I think we'll agree. I love how he does it. You know what I mean? Let's go. Let's go. But I don't think I don't know if he's AI or not. So we'll see. But check this out.
Backlog is, watch this. Not only do I have this much money coming in, we're going to see that tomorrow. But then they say we got 500 billion. Wait. How is it a bubble with numbers like this? Bro, we don't care if Michael Berry sold. We don't care if Peter Thiel sold. We don't care if SoftBank sold. We don't care if Peter Lynch, Peter Pan, Peter Guns, Peter Piper, Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson. We don't care.
Now he's got energy.
Lock up the puppies. Lock up the puppies. I knew when I saw Jensen Wine in a suit and not a black jacket, we had action. How the hell when an AI bubble and the market fly when an AI company do what they do? That mean ain't no bubble.
What do you think, man?
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. I don't give a fuck who sold their position. Good for them. They're smart. They locked in profits when it was at its highest. There's nothing wrong with that. That's how the market is supposed to work. But this is a company that when the stock price goes down, everybody wants to buy more of it. And it'll always come back to where it was and even higher. Look at the charts, man. Since its inception, is still up like over 20,000%. 20,000%.
Well, and that equals stabilization. You know what I mean? When people always want your stock, that equals stabilization of the product.
Yeah.
This is another one I think you'll like. Check this out. This one is called "The News is Lying to You About the Stock Market."
He looks real. He looks real. He looks like a real person. Yeah.
People on the news that's selling you on fear is the same people once they get beyond the fit, that's gonna be telling you,
They're buying.
man, these are the most amazing companies in the game right now. Hey,
Yep, they're selling you on being afraid of these companies and investing.
So that you dump it and it becomes cheaper for them and their friends. Yeah, that's
Nope.
exactly what fucking Jim Cramer does. Jim Cramer's an ex-hedge fund guy. Okay,
That's
and
true.
he, on YouTube, there's a video on YouTube explaining how he creates fear to short the markets and stuff like that. You know, that's what the hedge funds pay him to do.
Yeah, no, he's awful. I mean, it is known. It's a
Yeah.
laughing stock at how bad that dude is at this stuff. You know what I mean? So
Because they whatever they tell you to do the opposite is what most people are doing.
agreed. Check that. Yeah. I knew you'd love this dude.
on fear is the same people, once they get beyond the fit, that's gonna be telling you, man, these are the most amazing companies in the game right now. Hey, everybody should buy this. You know why? Because
Exactly.
the news is paid to make you think a certain way. When
Boom. The news is paid
I
to
just said
make
that.
you think a certain way. Let's go. You know what I
It's
mean?
the honest to God truth. I wish somebody would pay us to right now to speak a certain way about it, but for now, our opinions are not swayed by anybody's money. Nah, they never will be. I'm not that type of person.
They will never be. And if
But
they
you
are,
know,
we'll
they say
tell you at
everybody has a
first.
price, right?
Yeah, man. We'll tell you. We'll be like, hey, you know, we're paid to say this to you. You know what I mean? So all the pew pews for that. But yeah, man, I love what he's saying here, and it's true, man. It's absolutely true. I mean, you know, the news is sponsored, and then you look at the people sponsoring.
paid to make you think a certain way. When you wealthy and you build the wealth, you gotta become an independent thinker. You gotta see outside the noise, because the noise is what trick you out your spot. Unplug.
Boom! You got to see outside the noise.
So I say you got to research on your own. It doesn't matter what, news channel number 1 or news channel number 2 tells you. Figure it out yourself after doing your own research. You know what I'm saying? Make an informed decision.
Absolutely, and as someone who's lived this, man, I can tell you it. You only watch one news source and you believe you know everything. Well, that's exactly where they want you, right? And this isn't anything, but you only watch one news source, and that's exactly where they want you, and you believe you know everything. Well, then they got you. If you watch both news sources, or not both, but if you watch multiple sources with people who specifically have diametrically opposed views reporting on the same topic, you then start to see the topic a little clearer. And you realize how if I only believe one side or the other, I would be manipulated. And then you see it's kind of a game. And then, right, hang in there with me. And then you ascend to that higher level and you realize, all right, both of these places are being paid basically by the same person to make some of us feel one way, some of us feel another, but to most importantly keep all of us distracted and not being independent thinkers and doing our own research and understanding why both news sources are reporting these things in the way they are, because BlackRock or whoever at the top is benefiting and how they're benefiting from the divisive or conflicting way they report stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And first of all, if you're an average Joe thinking that you know everything, you're already fucked up in the game. I don't give a shit which side you subscribe to. If you feel like you're walking around the planet knowing everything, dude, you are dumb as shit, because you're only knowing what they allow you to know. Okay? They are disclosing just portions of what's actually really happening. So you don't know shit. Let's be honest like that. Okay? About that. But yes, it is in your best interest to see both sides. Because like Mike said, they're created to divide. You know what I'm saying? They're created to confuse. It's just like with the whole politics situation. Like I always say it after I heard this saying, I always say it. It's always in my head. Whether it's left wing or right wing, they're birds of the same feather. Okay. At the end of the day, they're all sort of working in some cohesion behind the scenes. Okay. To create that mass confusion and conflict. It's in their best interest to do so, to keep it divided. They don't want people to all be on the same page. There's got to be the Bloods and the Crips always, right?
Oh, yeah, man. Well, and they got to keep throwing red meat out there to fight over stupid stuff that not only is not good.
Otherwise, you won't have elections if everybody's on the same party. And I mean, in the same, I guess you could have elections amongst each other, but you get my point, right? It's juicier. It's more fun when there's two.
Hey man, when
sides.
AI president takes over, I hope he's kind.
Oh, man.
I hope it's kind because it's AI. So, but yeah, no, man, when AI president takes over, dog, you know what I mean? And for instance, I like to consider myself an independent. And I talk to a lot of people. It's like, oh yeah, I'm totally independent. But I'm like, if you can't tell me who's the head of the independent party right now, and which party of Republicans or Democrats he ran for president under, and the guy running the independent party, if you can't even tell me who that guy is, but people say they're an independent, they're not doing their research, because that is as simple as hitting the microphone button on your Google phone and going, who is the head of the independent party of the United States?
No,
it literally takes you less than 30 seconds to know it's Andrew Yang, by the way. Yang gang. But, it's one of those, you got to know this stuff. And if you're not involved in the same way that we can talk stocks and crypto and boop, boop, boop all day long, but if you're not out there living it, doing it.
Yep. I mean, here's the thing. I think a lot of people just say they're independent in the sense that they're not claiming Republican or Democrat, but they're not necessarily saying I'm voting for the independent party. You get what I'm saying?
Well,
they're more saying I'm an independent
don't know
thinker.
anything about it.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just saying on that, and not on any political side, but on overall American politics, like stocks, like anything that affects your future directly, your community, your family. You should educate yourself, because as this guy is saying, as they're saying, these folks have a financial interest and financial specific benefit in keeping you on one side or another, or keeping you believing there's only two parties and that kind of thing, instead of having to really investigate and understand, okay, well, crypto may be down, but oh wait, Ethereum, Solana, you know what I mean? People are making profits. My man right here, T-Qron made profits this week. So, sorry.
Yep, absolutely, man. People got to learn to stop letting other people think for them. You know what I'm saying? Do your own thinking, do your own research. But that's just the masses. The masses don't want to put in that work sometimes. They're too busy or they're too lazy. It's one or the other, right?
Well, and busy is important, man. I mean, that is you hit on it. They keep us busy.
And speaking of busy and lazy, all those people that always tell you they're too busy to do something that's important and beneficial for themselves, often that's just code word for lazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's, you know what? That's spoken like a man who lost 100 pounds. You know what I mean? Got himself right. Was in a low spot. 130, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I was busy too, but then I got unbusy.
You're one of those people where it's very hard to make that busy excuse.
Oh,
really, now, the only time I can kind of accept it pretty much is like if there's like either two parents or a single parent, they got 3-4 kids, and they're like, man, I'm working 3 jobs to get by. I'm like, you're busy. You're working 3 jobs. You may have an hour a night with your kid. You know what I mean? You're making some quick dinner, try to make sure they're doing their homework. Okay, you're busy. But other folks, most of them, it's very hard for somebody like you to hear an I'm busy excuse. You're like, oh, were you living out of your car, working a job, 100 pounds overweight, trying to make your dreams come true busy? Because I was that busy and had to figure out how to pull myself out of that busy. I don't think you're that busy. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think you're that busy.
Yeah. And even if you are, one of those parents that works multiple jobs and you got 4 kids and all that good stuff, right? Yes, understandable, very little time even to yourself. When you're at work, unless you're standing on your feet, which is beneficial because then you're able to get some cardio in. If you're at a desk job or whatever, just taking phone calls or doing whatever, get one of those little steppers under your desk. You know what I'm saying? I don't think your boss should have a problem with you trying to get healthy if you're not actually like away from your desk. You know what I'm saying? If you're just kind of moving your feet, cycling. Again, the goal is to move. Any movement is better than no movement. Slow movement better than no movement, right? And all movement is medicine. So become creative. Just because you're stuck at work doesn't mean that you can't, you know what I'm saying? I remember one job where homie was basically like, we were like in a like a call center environment, right? and this one dude was just taking calls, had his headset on, and he had resistance bands, and the dude was working out right then and there. The boss didn't have an issue with it as long as he wasn't away from his desk and not answering phone calls. That's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, man.
Why just sit
knew-
down and not burn any calories? You know what I'm saying? When you could possibly be doing that while you're working.
Yeah, I knew guys that went on to like play college basketball and football, or they were playing at the time. You know what I mean? And I had this homeboy named Malcolm. I remember he sit there. I worked at a call center, and he would just sit there with those resistance bands. And he just worked them.
Yeah,
and the dude was so ripped, and he was he wasn't a huge dude in stature, but he was so strong. Just that muscle per inch. You know what I mean? Like dude could lift a car, like the back of a car. I was like, you are so strong for your size, and he would just sit there and every day, all day, just crank that muscle work. Absolutely,
exactly.
Man, we're gonna. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I was just gonna say. No, please continue, my brother. Please.
No, what I was gonna say is even the busiest people. If you are one of the busiest people on the planet, get creative with it. You're not going to be able to create more time, but what you can do is possibly create opportunity to get multiple things done at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just sitting there, maybe
as a creative, you got to do it, man. That's one thing I miss about Hawaii is I don't get to go outside and see the ocean. I don't get to run in the sand. Sand is a good workout. Just the ability, man, just jog in the sand for half an hour a day.
Oh, yeah.
You will burn a good amount of calories, you know. So.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. All right, man, we're going to get this. I know we got to go, man. We are right at the edge. We're just a tiny bit over, but we're going to get you out of here soon. I promise. I know you got a lot going on. Thank you for your time, my brother. We're going to watch the end of this as inspiration. Let the folks know where they can find you.
You gotta become an independent thinker. You gotta see outside the noise, because the noise is what trick you out your spot. Unplug from CNBC, unplug from Bloomberg, unplug from Yahoo Finance, and let me just go study. Watch this, the .com bubble. Let me go study what companies was going crazy, and let me go look at what their PE ratios were, what their sales and revenue and earnings were. I challenge you to go do that. First of all, Palantir, who their competition is. They don't got none. The company hasn't been created yet. They're in a league by themselves. Second of all, they beat expectations on revenue, meaning they made more revenue this quarter that passed than what Wall Street expected. They earned more money, not by a little bit, by a lot. Third, they said, you know what? I see your guidance, meaning here's what y'all think we was gonna do, and I raise it times 2. That's not a bubble. That's real money. And if we go back to the .com bubble, people wasn't doing that.
Boom. That's what I'm talking about. And if we go back to the .com bubble, people was not doing that. You know what I mean? Where are we? There we are.
And who's that? What was the podcast? You said it was Trapping Tuesdays?
It said Wall Street looks like us now on YouTube. Yeah, just at.
Gotcha.
It's all one word. At one word. Wall Street looks like us now.
Yeah, but I mean, look, brother's 100% correct. He's preaching. I like the way he thinks. Absolutely.
And and I love the motivation and the inspiration here. And he's brilliant because what he's doing is what is needed. What we're doing is what is needed in this market, bro. You got to understand, I appreciate the nerdy white dude sitting there. You know what I mean? Going, it's going to be a crypto banger and stuff. But, it's
markets look like us.
That's not what we're entertainers, dog. We are natural entertainers by nature. And we know that if we make this stuff interesting, we're going to be able to provide access to a whole new group of people who never had access to this stuff before. And it's going to change their life for the better. The same way you do your weight loss stuff. The same way you encourage people to be, producers, musicians, whatever the case may be. People don't know this about you, but you have done more to help other people's careers in entertainment that we never really talk about. It kind of doesn't come up, but it's important to talk about. Like, you've done more for other people to help them with their live events, follow their dreams, get, tracks done, help them, follow their dream of performing live in Hawaii, man. Absolutely. You've bent over backwards. You've come out of pocket, dude.
I'd say about 10% of the people that follow me online are maybe even 15% are people that in the past have come to me for an opportunity to rock on one of my big shows. You know what I'm saying? We did business together, and they,
Yeah,
you know, they add you once, and for a lifetime they become a follower. And yeah, that's the reality of it. Mike is 100% correct. I've unfortunately sometimes it just feels like I should have been a little more selfish, but that's just not me. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes some of the people that you helped along the way don't deserve that shit. You get what I'm saying?
yeah.
But it's just what I was put on earth to do, and that's why, like, now with my resurfacing on socials since April of 2025 with my new with my transformation, my physique now, I've come with a whole new. Let's just put it this way: like I used to just be hip hop and rap and concerts. It was one dimensional. I feel now I'm 4D. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we can talk about the rap, we can talk about the concerts, I can hook you up, but I can also tell you, or, you know, give you advice, or, you know, tell you what I did, my recommendations for health, wealth, like we're talking about right now on this podcast. And even, you know, outside of that, like if you want to talk some other stuff, you know, not a huge I don't, like, you already know, like this week we had a little interesting little back and forth on some shit. It was funny, but nothing that I'm gonna fucking block you over or hate you because of. You know what I'm saying? The politics, like if you want to talk about current events, we can do that too. So
Hey man, when you're ready to
saw
learn,
my
I'm here.
personality this time around. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Hey,
Sorry, what were you
Yoda
saying?
didn't force stuff on Luke Skywalker. I'm not gonna force stuff on you, man. When you're ready to ascend, I'm here.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
no,
saying?
it's straight. It's straight. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that too. You know what I'm saying? Because there are I let's put it this way, man. Like I could go on and on about that shit and the reasons why I feel the way I do, but we don't even have that kind of time right now. But the bottom line is, when it comes to these politicians, uh, I like to just create my own, you know, understanding and opinion based on what I see, the actions, because actions always speak louder than words. Um, and when I see, when I su- if I support what you're doing, and I want you to, you know, do the right thing, just like anybody else, and ultimately you become that person, and then you do a complete 360 on me, I'm not with that.
I
I'm
agree.
just not,
Well,
I don't give a shit if
nobody.
it's I don't give a shit if it's the president, the governor, my own teacher, my own mom, rest in peace, my own dad. You know what I'm saying? Like my own best friend. Like you, that's just not for me. So I don't give a shit who you are. You get what I'm saying? If
When it's kind
you,
of all politicians, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
I mean,
So,
yeah, to an
but
extent, but
hey
I
man,
mean, some are worse
healing
than
has
others.
started. If you pay attention to
Yeah.
yesterday, man, two very brutal
Hmm.
enemies of politics who talked mad smack on each other got together
Hmm.
and got along. And I was like, I hate social media is a little behind. They're mad about this. And you realize, no, it's not even politics necessarily. It's just that social media thrives on sides and hate and fighting and arguing,
Absolutely.
And it's like, man, I was hoping to pull up my socials and see, man, the healing has kind of begun. Like, this is good. Like, two people are going, we disagree on a lot, but we can work together for better cities and better, relationships in America. I'm like, yes. You know what I mean? That's what we need, in my opinion. Because like
Right.
it or not, we all live together and we have to work together. And if I'm like, okay, I control the water and screw you, no water, and you're like, I control the electricity, screw you, no electricity, we're both without water and electricity, and it helps neither one of us. You know what I'm saying? So I love the fact that I think that people are starting to, and I pray this, man, people are starting to calm down. People are starting to focus on uh, our similarities instead of our differences. And people
Hmm.
starting to realize, man, we're all we got because AI is about to take us all out. And unless we
Yeah.
put our best minds together, that I've never seen two brilliant people who agree on everything ever in my life. My smartest friends do not agree with each other on many things, and that's
But
okay.
here's the
You know
thing.
what I'm saying?
It might be calm for now, but wait till the elections pop up again. Oh boy, it's
Oh no, no,
always
that's
like,
what I'm saying. I'm hoping the healing has begun, where we can get
yep,
back to elections that are, hey, I like this guy because he stands for these things and they're important to me, and the other person
right,
going, hey, I like this guy, and then these are the things we agree on, and I feel like this guy is going to be the better leader going forward to get them done. But the key is what we agree on, right? So I'm hoping we kind of get back to there. Or at least I prefer this guy. Why? Because ABC. Oh, cool. Not I prefer this guy. Why? Screw you, Hitler. You know what I mean? But at that point, it's important. And I'll say this with money, with politics, with religion, with everything. If you get to a point where you cannot hear the other side without having a visceral emotional reaction, you're being controlled. They got you where they want you. If you can't hear an opposing viewpoint, I can hear all day that crypto's done and it's crashing and it's the dumbest move in the world. I can hear that all day and not get upset. I completely disagree. I think that is the wrong way to go about it. And I am so thankful that I live in a country with enough freedom to do something different than you. You know what I mean? But cursing you out and calling you names or trying to hurt you because you want to sell your crypto and I want to keep mine and buy more. That's stupid. You know what I mean? That's stupid. That's dumb. You know what I mean? So let's all get along and understand we have a similar goal here, right? And that's to make the most money possible or to lose at least the least amount of money possible. Cool. You know what I mean? You do your thing. I'll do mine. Let's be honest about it and watch and learn. Because if I buy more crypto and in a year I have way more money and you sold all yours and you have less money, guess what? Regardless of how we feel about each other, that was the move to make. And let's make that move together and all make more money. And no one has to hate anyone.
To Mike's point right there, that kind of reminds me of the verse that I spit yesterday in the studio. I said, "Listen here, little soldier, the world is colder than it's ever been before. But no one told you, hold your own alone. Don't let no one mold you. You should be chasing your dreams, not the one that they sold you."
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to not know things because that's how you learn. You know what I mean? If you know everything, you don't learn anything. Don't be afraid to learn. Don't be afraid to hear things. One of the most blessed pieces of advice I got when I was young through Buddhism, which I appreciate the lessons I learned through Buddhism, was that hearing something you disagree with doesn't hurt you. It doesn't mean it's wrong. And that it can be very true for somebody else that this is the best way for them to go. And trying to fight them on their path is silly. Your path might be so completely different. But thank God I don't have, doctors fighting with chefs. You know what I mean? This is not the way you operate. This is not the way you cook. No. You're a doctor. You're a chef. Cool. Guess what? Me as a chef, if you're a doctor and you're off time, you want to take some of my fun chef classes and learn how to make the perfect piece of salmon? Fun. Guess what? I'm a doctor. When you're sick, you come to me because I'm good at what I do, and you're going to need that help, right? So it's understanding the blessings of being free in this country and being able to say, my bad. I was wrong about this, or I was wrong about that, and nobody can do that anymore. And, as somebody who truly sees it down the middle and studies things, the scariest thing right now is not being able to disagree or showing, well, that's not true. What was that thing that you believe is not true? Because blatantly here's the fact on that. And somebody going, you're bad. It's like, well, where in the world? I was grown up. I was taught that if anybody corrects me, it's like, hey, man, that's incorrect. And I know you believe that, but that's incorrect. Here's the proof. If you scream at the person showing you the proof, you're gone. You know what I mean? Just like that dude said, you're being controlled. And the way that I have so many people. Well, they don't anymore. But in the beginning, I have people like, who's this dude? And why are you working with a hip hop dude on finance? Pop. And, what's going on? And I'm like, I'm telling you, he knows what he's talking about. And I'm telling you, this dude is going to break finance into a new world. There's a whole group of folks that are going to get into crypto, or maybe they're kind of into it now, but they haven't been represented on a podcast. They haven't been seen and heard. And now there's a dude that's going to open a whole new world up to crypto and trading in a way that's never been done before. And that's you. And look, you're doing it. You know what I mean? You are doing it with all the pew-pews. So anyway, I appreciate you, man. And I appreciate you live it every day. You know what I mean? You don't block and lose your mind. You're like, so you allow people their say. You say what you feel. You're honest about it. You're real about it. And proof is in the pudding. And you're like, if I'm wrong, you'll see it. And the way we say it out here, man, you put your nuts on the table. You know what I'm saying? You're playing poker. You got no more money left. Fine. Plop. Let's go. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. Speaking of slap, that booty slap thing that you put up the other day. Oh my God. I'm like, okay, now that shit I can get behind. Let's do this. You know what I'm saying? After WWE, let's watch some of this shit.
I'm trying. I'm
yo,
trying to get.
they're getting
JP
really creative with
Dillingham.
the sports these days, aren't they?
Let's go. Let's go, man. Anyway, brother, tell the people where they can find you, how they can find you. Tell them about Tuesdays, what else you're dropping. Let's make sure we let
Shit, just hit me on the socials right now. What is it? The Facebooks, the Instagrams, the TikToks, just T-Qron. The website's being worked on, so that's coming. You guys can hit that when it's up and running. I'll let y'all know. But yeah, like what Mike was saying, every Tuesday, I might scale it back to every other Tuesday. We'll see. But for the last 11 weeks, I've dropped 10 videos, took 1 week off of me just freestyling or just, doing a song. Yeah, check that out. Like, share, comment. Check out Mike's page. You know what I'm saying? Check out the podcast, the Visionary Value podcast, every Monday night on YouTube, Rumble. And just try to do better. You know what I'm saying? I live with that philosophy in life every single day. If you see a post or if you see multiple posts when you're on my page and you're just like, fuck is wrong with this dude? You know what I'm saying? He goes from talking about this to that or whatever. I'm going to just tell y'all right now, a lot of the shit that I post is just motivational messages to myself. If you can get something out of it, cool. If not, you don't like it, scroll past it. You can unfollow, whatever you want to do. But most people will agree that the shit that I'm talking about is likely beneficial for them or somebody else, if not everybody. You get what I'm saying? So that's why we do what we do. And yeah. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. The diversity of your life and experience is what is so valuable, man. And I know there are a lot of ups and a lot of downs. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Rocky roads leads to smoother shores always, yeah. But it's your breadth of experience, man. You're just a valuable follow. Everybody go follow my man T-Qron. Let's go. And we will see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. This has been Visionary Value. We will see you tomorrow night for Power Sports Time. We are out.
Oh boy!